Good afternoon. I'm popping in a wee bit early today because I've got an appointment this afternoon. So I just thought I would jump on quickly now. And then those of you who normally expect me at 1:30, you'll catch up when you join. You'll see that there's already a video here. So, oops, I haven't turned off my, I'll just leave it. Right, I'm Vanessa Baker, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Waiuku. And I cover the Auckland region as well as my little area here in Aka Aka. I'll just double check that I am actually live with sound. Because I've got okay, perfect. Right. So what have we got to talk about today? It's all been a bit of a rush today, to be honest. Just getting back from Australia and daylight saving and Easter and everything. I don't know. It's already Wednesday. Where has the week gone? So let's just flip around and have a look at our, oops, why is that not working? There we go. Okay, so today, oops, why is it very crooked? Today I'm using the Capturing Smiles stamp set and dies. And this is a really cool one. I used it for my niece's 21st card, some of the elements on that, and it was pretty, I really enjoyed using it. So I've seen a few things posted, and I've actually got a bit of a mashup of a couple of ideas. One is from Dani, Dziama. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. She's one of the artisan design team members this year, and Peggy. And they both did beautiful cards, and I sort of thought, oh, I'd like a bit of this and a bit of that. So that's what we're going to do today. So I really like this set for both card making and for scrapbooking. I think it's fantastic with the camera. We all take loads of photos on our phones, don't we? So first thing I want to do is a bit of something from Dani's card, and I'm going to use this little film strip to create a background. Now I'm not 100% sure I want it on the pink, so I'm just going to go with it, and I've got a piece of white on standby in case I change my mind. But what Dani did is she created a background using the film strip as a mask or a stencil. So I'm just going to replicate sort of what she did on the side, sort of about there. And I'm just going to sponge through that with the same coloured ink as the cardstock. So this is Pretty in Pink. And I'll just tap off that first blob. And so this is kind of a subtle background. And I'm going over, oops. I'm going sort of around the edge as well. So you're going to end up seeing the holes and the squares and the sort of the general shape. But I am kind of avoiding that end piece because that just might look a bit strange. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Yeah, that's what I want. Just subtle, but it just creates a little bit of a base to put the rest of our pieces onto. So then I'm going to leave a bit of a gap. I'll go about there, I think, for the next one. And now I'm being careful not to go over the part I've already sponged because I don't want to lose that effect. And I could be a bit more fussy and put this down with washi tape or something, but actually I could turn the paper. That might make it easier. And what's great about using this black piece is I can then turn around and use it on the card because you're not going to see all the pink on the black. Make sure I do the end. Okay, and then see, we've got two. Very cool. And the third one, we'll go back to this direction and come down here. And I'll turn that again just to make it easier to hold. And so I haven't got my arm across the camera. Just getting the edge. Okay, yeah, so it just gives that sort of hint of something there filmy in the background. So now we have to just decide with all the other pieces here if we want the pink. So it's kind of going to go like that. And then we've got our film strip and then a whole bunch of cameras. Or do we want that in white? I actually like the pink. I think that's kind of cool. The one that Dani did, she used, I think it was Pool Party. So I'll just show you what it looks like on white in the pink. And it makes you look at all your dyes in a different way, right? Because it's like, you could use that as a stencil. Such a cool idea. It is moving a wee bit because I probably should tape it down. And like any sponging, you can get a dark blob if you're not careful. Pretty in pink's a colour I don't use that often. But I liked it combined with, on Peggy's card, she did Pretty in Pink with Strawberry Slush. So I'm following what she did there, that part of the colour scheme. And they look really pretty together. So then if we can imagine that all over the card, and then our cameras. Oh, I like that too. Now, which one do we like better? Don't know if I've got anyone watching. Can't tell. Oh, I quite like the white now. Let's have a look on here. The white is just a bit softer. I'd have to do the whole thing. Let's just quickly do it. Bit of a gap. Just trying to hold it still while I do it. Actually, I don't mind that end bit. There's a bit of it showing on the edge of the card here. It doesn't actually look out of place. See that? I've just got that curve there. Okay, here's two. Oh, it's quite pretty. Sort of hold two at once, it's a bit easier. So I'll just turn that. Yes, so it's, what did I say, Wednesday already. I had work yesterday and I had to call in my parents on the way home, and then I'm trying to get back into my yoga after having that time off, and my internet wasn't playing nice. So hopefully this is working. Right. Oh, now I quite like that. So we'll just see. What do we think? Scatter those about. Actually, I think there's quite a contrast on that one between the white and the pink. So I just think this one is actually more subtle. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. But it's good to have that as an experiment. I'll have to make something else with it. I just think with these little cameras, it's not quite right. So now we're kind of onto Peggy's layout, or sort of. This part is also Dani's. I've just got a little bit of furry. Now this DSP here is from Mixed Up Patterns. So on the back is a kind of an old olive pattern. These ones are designed to go with your other papers. And this one is, I think it's actually strawberry slush, but it's like a light version, because that's the stamped strawberry slush. So it's like a light version of it, because it's not quite pretty in pink. I think it, yeah. So anyway, I digress. I'm going to just stick this layer down. On an angle. So I've made it smaller than my usual cut. I go right over to that edge, back a bit there. And so the measurements will all be on my blog post later on when I find a minute to do that. Now this one too, I might just go, I think I'll go flat. You can see I had a little play earlier with the sponging part. No point wasting it. Okay, so this one's going to go on this angle so that you can see bits of that other paper coming from the back. Okay. Now, the next thing to put on is the film strip. So it would have been quite good if I'd actually thought and done that in adhesive sheet. So I could quickly do that if I had a piece long enough, yes. And then it would be much easier to stick. So what you do, you get your adhesive, it becomes a sticker basically. You get your adhesive sheet, and I'm going to use this to guide me. I might go that way actually. And I'm just going to cut it with my scissors because, you know, so unfortunately it's not something you can do afterwards. It would be very tricky. But if you do it before, if you stick this, so then you'll see you've got lines in the paper where you can peel it back. So you just peel off the sticky, and I try and do half at a time because I think it's easier than trying to handle a whole piece of something sticky. Okay, so that's now on the back of the card, and then we just turn it over. Grab the die, and I make sure I get it in the right place so it's over the sticky, and then I'll run that through. Okay, so it cuts out these little squares, which are quite cool. You can use those to cut out little bits of photo, or there's actually some little scenes in the stamp set as well that you can stamp and then cut out. This is going to come off nicely. Now the only thing that does happen is you get more of the bits sticking in the, you know, all the little pieces that you've got to poke out with your, take your pick tool. So I'll just do that over the bin. Yeah, because you've got the adhesive sheet there, they don't, it's a little bit thicker, and plus you've got the sticky, so they don't pop out as easily as when you're not using adhesive sheet. But it's so much easier for sticking because you're not going to get gluey fingers that it's worth it. And by keeping the other one the way it is, I can use that as a mask still on, or a stencil, on the next project. I'll just tuck that in my die set, or in with the stamps. Okay, so you can see now on the back of the black, I've got this white layer, which I can now peel off with the help of that same tool. Where's it gone here? Actually, it might be easier. There's a little bit of black showing here on the edge, so just get it started there. And then this whole backing, the whole thing is sticky. Okay, now I have to get the angle right. So I don't want it on the same, don't want it the same like that, because I think that's too matchy-matchy. I want it on a different angle. Maybe about there, in the middle of the card. Okay, so that's got that stuck on. Now we've got cameras. So I've stamped some cameras and cut them out. You don't need to see me doing that. I'm sure you know how to do that. And these are going to go on dimensionals. So I've got some small dimensionals here. And this is the part that really attracted me to Peggy's card, is these little cameras all every which way on the front. Okay, so we're going to overlap film strip there. And down the bottom. Go about there. And a light one. It's nice to mix up the light and dark. And it's probably two colours I wouldn't have put together myself. It's really cool when people come up with great combinations. There, and another one. So it's an odd number. Got 5 cameras. Oh, that's right. I was going to do a little bit of stamping like Dani did. I forgot about it. So let's see if I can fit that in now. Just put one. I don't want to be on the same angle as that one. Just so they're really quite random. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, I was going to do photo op. I thought that was really cute. So she'd sort of done it inside these squares. Well, not inside them, but... Oh, I wonder if I should do it in... I was going to do it the same, the Pretty in Pink, but now I'm thinking, do I do the strawberry slush, which might just be kind of cool. Or black. That was the other thought. Do I do it in black? I don't really have a bit I can play with now. So let's get another bit of pink. I just thought the black might be a little bit heavy. But let's have a little play. I like having a play and just seeing where things take me. So we'll just replicate our little thing here. It's kind of where I was with the white as well. It's like, which one do I prefer? Okay, so then we've got our darker colour. So we can try it with both, actually. That's what I want to do. So let's do a light pink one, and then the darker pink. And the black, and then we'll just choose. Okay. I think the light pink. Or is that too safe? Never want to be safe. I am using white embellishments. I am thinking that the only black thing is the film strip, but black is, the black's kind of nice. Okay, maybe the black. I'm only going to do 3. I think that's what she did as well. Okay, so I'm going to do one down here. Oh yeah. I think it will help just bring that black into, and we'll go on a different angle. One there. And one, I think because I've done that strip, as it were, I'll do one on this strip here, and I'll go maybe straight on. Oh yeah, okay, liking that. This is fun. Okay, so now I've got a bit of, I didn't have any pink ribbon. Peggy used a lovely pink, quite a thin ribbon. I don't know where she got that from, but I thought I could use baker's twine. So I'll just do a bow. Kind of a big one. I might do a bit smaller. There we go. About that size. And that goes down here on a glue dot. Now, glue dots have all made their way to my craft bag, I think. Where are they? Oh, here we are, off the table. I had a class I haven't cleaned up yet. Okay, so I take my bow to the dot and then sort of squeeze it together as I pull it off. And then I play with the tails. Get them where I want them. Try not to stick it to your finger because it does lose its sticky. Okay, and then I'm kind of going to go in here, following what Peggy did. Okay, and then we've got the sentiment, and I'm going to emboss that. I'm just going to have some coffee. I had to cut my lunch short. And now my coffee's getting cold. Right. So I've got all my embossing things here with the strawberry slush cardstock, and white embossing powder. So we rub it with the buddy. And then I've got both my stamps on the one block, just to make it a one-step process. And pop those on there. And then into the powder. Oh, that's where the spoon goes. I've got a spoon on my table and I didn't know where it went. I've just discovered, here's the spoon. It goes in this powder. And I have a new trick. I think I've shown you maybe in my last video, but I forget where I got it from now, but you use your putty on the Take Your Pick tool to get rid of the little bits of embossing. So even when you use the buddy, you can still end up with bits of powder where you don't want them. And when it's close to the letters, it can be hard to remove. I've got a little paintbrush that I use, but sometimes the bristles splay out, or it's just a bit too big for the area. But this has been fantastic. I'm just actually rubbing it right along that edge where there was some stray powder, and it's all now stuck to the putty, which you then just remove that piece of putty like that and put it in the bin, and then you just twist this white piece and another piece of putty will come out. You don't need to twist it very much. See how I've got quite a bit there from that little tiny twist, and then it's ready for next time. So that's my new party piece. Okay, so then we would heat that. I've actually already prepared one earlier, which I have here. Excuse me. And I'm going to just cut that apart. Now I'm going to do a little angle. And follow that same angle and take a bit more off. And you can use each other as a guide, so you get that same angle on all the pieces. Everyday moments. Now, moments I am going to cut a little bit thinner, and it's probably not too bad to use these. I like to use a longer blade for cutting when you're doing something long like this. The other scissors are great for fussy cutting in and out around things, but when you've got something long, I find a longer blade is good. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's no one's going to be measuring it. Well, I don't think they are, unless maybe your friends do measure things. Every day looks a little crooked. It's weird. It looks crooked. Looks like there's more on this side than that end, but the top looks pretty straight. So I'll just have a little play. With tidying that up. Also because my blade needs changing in my trimmer, and it's a bit fluffy. Okay. Excuse me. Not used to talking. And the moments is going to cover that, like that. So we'll put dimensionals on the back. Put big ones on there and small ones on the moments. Just seeing, I probably don't want one right by the bow because that's going to be too thick. So I'll put one about here. It's my trick of, and then I'll put one on the other end, and I might just use this little tiny bit as well. I like to use up all the little pieces. Okay, so that's going to come across there, and I'm going to get my ichrometer to line it up with the bottom of the card. I think that's about right. And then this one is going to come up here. Every day. Again, I want that straight. And somewhere around here, there's a little heart that I cut in silver foil. Oh, here he is. And he's just going to go up there. And Peggy's right. It does just add something. A little bit of foil just adds a little je ne sais quoi. That's how you say it. I'm just going to put that on with a glue dot. Just on the top of that film strip. Nice. And then we've got our dots. These are Moody Palette Glossy Dots. And I'm using the white. So I'll just turn my little tool around. I really should get a putty. Actually, I saw one in my drawer. I don't know why, but I have a putty and just sitting in my drawer. So I'll get that into action. Hopefully that will, for some reason, there's a bit of putty in the lid. Get rid of that. A little more of a turn. What is it? One of those ones that goes the other way. Stampin' Up sometimes have things that go the opposite direction. Anyway, that's now ready for use on my desk. Yay. Happy about that. I wanted to use it. Okay. I'm losing the plot today. Right. So now I've got these white dots. Slide that little knife under there and go for one there. I think I'm going to use big ones. I might use two big and one small. Sliding it off. And then, yeah, I'm going to put a smaller one down the bottom here because there's quite a bit happening already. Cute. Okay, just got to do something now on the inside of the card. So I think the little camera, don't you? He's so cute. I think I might have put it away. Where have I put it? Looking all around. Where's the little camera? But I had already stamped them, hadn't I? Here we are. I've put them away. Oh. Do you find sometimes your stamps get, it sort of feels like gritty dust? What you do is you just use your chamois. It's just slightly damp. And it just takes that off and means that it will stick well to your block. That chamois is just in the process of drying out. Okay, so I've got my inner tucked inside here. And I'm wondering what colour to use. I think I might do the light pink, because that's the base colour of the front of the card. Oh, I could I use this? That would be kind of cool. Bring the outside in. Or I could use that, couldn't I? One of those. I could do another one. The possibilities are endless. So I could do a little something here in the corner. try not to get my arm in the way of the camera. And I just want to make sure I've got that edge and the little holes. It's only pale, but because you're on white, it shows up really well. Cool. And then I might do photo op again. Or actually, shall I do the camera first? And then photo op. Sorry, I'm going to go with the darker one. And I'm going to go that, and then photo op. Cute. And it really ties in with the front of the card. So I'll tuck that inside. And the only other thing I wanted to talk about was Paper Pumpkin. So Paper Pumpkin has been launched in New Zealand, and we have until April the 10th, which is Friday, to sign up for the April subscription. So every month you have until the 10th of the month to sign up, and then on the 11th your card will be processed and your kit will be sent out around the 11th, 12th, that kind of timing. So yeah, so we've got our first cut-off, if you like, for the subscription for April is coming up on Friday. So if you're interested in the Paper Pumpkin kit for April, then you want to subscribe before Friday. And there's different options on the page. When you get there, you can pay as you go, or you can buy 3, 6 or 12 months at a time. But I think pay as you go is good. So you know that every month on the 11th, your card will be, the payment will go through. And you can pause it. You can jump a month. You can pause the whole thing. So, if you're going to be away or you don't like it that month. So we will get sneak peeks before, like we have with April, before the cut-off. You'll know kind of what's in the kit. What sort of the general theme is and the colours, that sort of thing. But the idea is that it is a surprise. So they don't want to show, everything you're going to get, because then it's not a surprise, like finding something under a pumpkin. So yeah, that's how it works. But if you've got any queries, then please feel free to reach out to me. I'll just flip around again here. Yeah, so I'm learning as well, but I'm here to help you. And if there's something we can't figure out, then I've got people I can ring and find out the information. So if there's anything you're stuck on, do please reach out, and we can get it sorted for you. And I hope to be on soon with some ideas for other ways to use the kit. It's the paper pumpkin kit. It's a mouthful. So I'm working on that, and we'll have something up shortly for you on that. So great. Have a lovely week, the rest of the week, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye.